From Bill Burr bashing Elon Musk,
Why does Elon Musk dress like he just got out of a Hot Topic?
to Jimmy Carr going full throttle on his audience.
It's his birthday. I couldn't give a...
Here are the 15 most savage moments of the comedians recorded on television. Kicking off the list with the unfiltered Ricky Gervais, who took the piss out of the woke mob.
Of course, the word queer has changed. Again, traditionally, the word queer used to mean someone who was attracted to the same sex as themselves, a gay man. Now, the word queer can mean a straight man who wants some attention.
Ricky Gervais talking on pronouns or identities? Nothing, and I mean nothing, comes close to this setting.
I'm all queer now. I'm right queer now. I am, yeah. What about your girlfriend? Yeah, she's queer and all. We're just two queers queering each other out. Suck a cock? Nah.
My man just destroyed a whole spectrum of sexual identity without breaking a sweat.
No, didn't think so. I'm not that sort of queer. What sort of a queer are you? Dyed my hair blue. So did my grandmother, and she fucking loved cock, so what are we saying? I have no evidence for that. We never had that conversation.
He absolutely nailed it. While Ricky went full-on beast mode against her whole mob, Louis C.K. was a little gentle, and definitely a bit too vanilla when he took down Jay Leno.
I hope I can say this without insulting you.
Yes.
You're the weirdest looking person on the planet Earth.
Thank you. Thank you. That doesn't insult me at all.
Usually this is where a smart person would just laugh it off and take Louis' mind off himself, but Jay Leno sure had the nerve to strike back.
That's very kind.
I don't mean that as a negative.
No, not at all.
It's just nobody, I can't describe
It's just the fact that I have a full head of hair. That's what's telling you.
Well, yeah, sure.
I don't mean that in a bad way. Don't take that the wrong way.
I'm not. It's just that
I just don't have to cover my chin because I'm proud of it. But
Jay,
no, go.
it's not.
Bold strategy. Idiotic? Oh, absolutely. Entertaining? Definitely. Because what else could have drawn out a reply like this one?
No, but go ahead.
Jay,
I'm sure
if you weren't famous and you robbed a bank and the dude was describing you to like a police sketch artist, he'd be like, no, seriously, what did he look like? Nobody looks like this. Nobody looks like you.
Really?
I can't believe I'm looking at you all the time I'm looking at you.
My man Leno surely had some funny puns, but he got owned pretty quick with that last one. If you're new to comedy, heads up. There's nothing more glorious than Jimmy Carr casually pouncing on his audience members, just like this one.
What do you do? I didn't ask. What do you do?
I have a diving school in Indonesia.
You have a diving school in Indonesia? Wow. I mean, I've heard some tall stories that people...
Classic Jimmy Carr. Here's driving school in Indonesia and immediately jumps to out front.
You're a sexual tourist. You disgust me. What kind of diving? That sounds fucking great. Cool. Well done, you. I was going to go diving in Indonesia last year, but I read this thing online that said you can get a thing where... fucking growth on your face.
Jimmy sees a bloke with a chin pimple and concludes, that's why I don't dive in Indonesia.
Size isn't important, it's what you do with it. Would you agree with that, ladies? No! There's a lady over there that likes a big cock and she doesn't care who knows it.
First rule of Jimmy Carr's show? Never engage with him like that, or you'll be the target of his next pun.
Sorry, it's quite possible you just whispered that and it picked up an echo.
Wildly offensive, deeply inappropriate, and, hate to admit, stupidly funny. Bravo, you savage genius. And if you want to see another level of savage genius, we have Bill Burr roasting an entire city.
Is this out in, is this in Boston? Where do you live now?
I live in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's where you're out in LA?
It's a frightening place to live.
Yeah.
Dollar crashing, city technically has no water supply. You know?
Sounds like a lot of fun.
The zombies are coming. So I've been thinking about getting a gun.
Oh my God.
I know people don't like it, but you got to.
You can clearly see Bill doesn't hold back.
What am I supposed to get a windmill, right? Start growing zucchini? And then what? All I'm doing is just growing that for the strongest guy in the block, you know?
My man took over the show like it's nothing, sidelining Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, your zucchini.
No, I'm serious. I've been going to gun stores and
Oh my God.
and these rednecks are all telling me the same thing because I didn't grow up with guns. So they're just going, all right, you never had a gun, you want to get yourself a shotgun. It's got a great spread. That's what they keep saying. It's got a great spread. You don't even got to aim it. You got a problem, you just sort of whip around. You get the guy, right?
He left Fallon laughing like crazy with his puns. He's perfect comedic timing and not too obvious sarcasm. A quality that also makes my man Chris Rock worth watching.
I really like to fight for jobs. I hate the feeling of suddenly being like, oh, well, you know, Kristen can have it because she can.
Of course, Chris Rock couldn't resist chiming in. That's what he looks for. People putting illogical statements forth. That's his comedic goldmine.
And I you know what I mean?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Give me the job. I don't care if everybody's better than me. I want the job. Well, the parts for a Mexican. Yeah.
Honestly, Kristen, if you're gonna make deep points, at least do that with logic, so that a guy like Chris Rock doesn't get the cue to go after you. Moving from subtle comedy to not-so-subtle roasts, we have Jimmy Carr, the walking cannon himself.
That's the most annoying heckle that I get at gigs. I like it when people join in. I like a bit of a heckle and a bit of fun. But the most annoying one I get is when I've set up a joke, just about to do the punchline, and someone goes, invariably it's the same thing. It's always, where's Alan? Where's Alan? It's not my, like, bête noir. It's just a bit annoying. Where's Alan? Who's at your house fucking your dad?
Come on, mate, we all knew it was a trap, yet you had to jump in there without any thoughts.
I think we all knew, including him, I think we all knew that was a trap. I could feel you as one going, hold, hold, hold. And then one brave soul over there said, no. I'm taking one for the team. Or rather, your dad is.
Bro threw himself under the bus just so we could have a great laugh. Cheers for that, mate. If you think that's the quickest someone can be brought down, you should see Bo Burnham getting humbled by Gary Shandling.
I was running
now,
titles.
why can he talk? Who's
He shouldn't be able to talk before him.
I
That's true. Fair point.
I am.
Fair point.
I'm of the younger generation, so I just wonder for all of you, who are you?
Bo thought he had a moment, but Gary Shandling, he definitely had a comeback ready to go, and it was definitely not a hard miss.
All right, now you can talk.
It's so good. It's so good because it's so mutual.
Gary, being the legend he is, hits him with the perfect response. Classic move. Always have a mic drop ready when the young guy thinks he's got a burn.
Did you picture your career this way when you started out? Is it like what you wanted?
Not here. You know, my goal was to do stand-up. I just loved doing stand-up. I was making a living doing stand-up. I did The Tonight Show with Johnny. I did the HBO. I did the Young Comedian Special with this guy 17 years ago. It was the Young Comedian Special, and I was kind of old then.
Yeah.
I was,
I noticed that.
I was like 35.
I remember at the time just thinking Ray is so much better than all of us.
Not only Gary Shandling, but even Ray Romano proved why he's one of the big names in comedy when he took a dig at Judd Apatow later on. Oh, getting cheeky, aren't you, Judd? Well, Ray Romano knew just where to attack for him to realize his mistake.
I remember seeing your stand-up and thinking, that guy's going to be a great writer. Wait a minute.
You see, Judd, that is exactly why you should leave comedy to the pros. Pete Davidson cannot be forgotten when it comes to savage trolling other people, just like when he derailed Kanye West completely.
I'm like on the left, I'm like, oh God. And then I'm like, I want a career, so I leave. But like Kanye, I know you're like, yo, this is the real me. I'm off the meds. Take them. There's no shame in the medicine game. I'm on them. It's great. Take them. There's nothing wrong with taking them. Being mentally ill is not an excuse to act like a jackass. Okay?
So, Kanye's out there trying to make a name for himself, huh? Well, tough luck. And if you thought that was savage, wait till you see how Jimmy Carr took down Big Narsty.
Look at your forehead, cuz. Look like you got a heartbeat in your forehead.
That's not a 4 that's a 6 or an 8 head.
No, there, but my back's against the wall.
Well, Jimmy's laugh was itself an announcement of the brutal jabs heading towards the host in just a bit. And they sure did.
Now, Jimmy, you're one of the hardest working comedians in the industry.
The hardest working?
The hardest working.
Compared to you two. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
That was not enough, as Jimmy gave a swift response right after that, which completely burned down the smug host in a jiffy.
You wasn't with me shooting in the fucking gym. That's what I'm trying to say, cuz. When I was doing the dead race, no.
Let's go rewind to that, my friend, because what's your favourite machine? The vending?
That's exactly how Jimmy Carr leaves people. Well cooked and high and dry. You mess with him, and suddenly you're the one looking like you just got roasted in the most brutal way possible. And he's not the only one that can obliterate you in an instant. Bill Burr can do the same regardless of who's in front of him, even if it's a journalist.
You said about Elon that he was ruining Earth, I saw on The View. You're critical of him. What do you think of all the boycotts, like even the violence
I don't watch
that's
the
going
news.
on in Tesla?
I don't watch the news. I have no idea what's going on. I watch Instagram. I watch people wipe out on motorcycles. I watch lions and hyenas fight each other. This is the things that I do. And I don't think you should be asking a comedian.
That was bound to fail. He tried to corner Bill Burr out of all people, and we all know how that usually turns out.
You're a journalist.
Comedians are on top of current events.
No. That's weak. That's you guys passing the buck. You guys need to have balls again, which you don't. You guys always goes, should we be thinking this? Duh. You guys present stuff like that. You guys used to have balls. You need to get your balls back. And it's not my job. I am a dancing clown.
He obliterated the entire media cell that is becoming more and more cowardly nowadays. And we all know comedians hate that. They don't shy away from obliterating anyone, and I mean anyone. Just like Ricky Gervais, who roasted Mel Gibson like it was a walk in the park.
Okay. Right, listen, this is... Shush. Shush, shut up, really, seriously. Right. A few years ago, on this show, I made a joke about Mel Gibson getting a bit drunk and saying a few unsavoury things. We've all done it. I wasn't judging him, but now I find myself in the awkward position of having to introduce him again.
Ricky Gervais is famous for his hilarious digs on Mel Gibson's drinking problem, and let's be honest, everyone is kinda addicted to them.
Listen, I'm sure it's embarrassing for both of us, okay? And I blame NBC for this terrible situation. Mel blames... We know who Mel blames. Listen, I still feel a bit bad for it, right? Mel's forgotten all about it, apparently. That's what drinking does. No.
Ricky Gervais roasting Mel Gibson's drinking, a perfect pairing of champagne with a DUI joke.
I want to say something nice about Mel before he comes out. Oh yeah, okay, here you go. I'd rather have a drink with him in his hotel room tonight than with Bill Cosby. Please, Malcolm. Mel Gibson.
Yeah. I love seeing Ricky once every 3 years because it reminds me to get a colonoscopy.
Yeah, a colonoscopy is probably less painful, unless the tube starts cracking jokes, questioning your sanity, and digging up your deepest regrets. When it comes to savagery, there's no one as straightforward and blunt as Dave Chappelle. Maybe Chappelle's respected partly because no one wants to get steamrolled by his brute punchlines.
You know what I mean? Somebody come up to me like, Dave, Chris Brown just beat up Rihanna. I'll be like, well, what did she do?
That's it. No disclaimers, no pleasantries, just torch the subject and leave the ashes unaddressed. Now, all these quirks reminds us of Ricky Gervais's random punches against the woke mob, and that's a clash that brings out classic comedy like this.
No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and cocks. They're as good as gold. I love them.
Bashing the modern gender debate without the fear of being cancelled? Who else could pull it off effortlessly but Ricky Gervais?
And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person isn't a lady? Well, his... Her penis, you fucking bigot.
He just roasted the whole far left with a few lines. No wonder they want him censored.
What if he rapes me? What if she rapes you?
And last but not the least, Bill Burr, the man who doesn't give a damn about the time, place, or even the person he's bashing.
God. Why does Elon Musk dress like he just got out of a Hot Topic? I am so sick of that guy trying to rewrite his origin story like he was Matthew McConaughey pulling into the high school. It's like you were a nerd, nobody banged you, and now you have hair plugs and your laminated face.
Damn. We know Elon's been getting the bashing of his lifetime from everywhere, but leave it to Bill Burr to really strike a nerve.
They're horrible, heartless people. And then for some reason, if you say that, you're like a communist and then we're in bed with the Russians. I don't get any of it. None of it makes sense. And then they try to politicize everything you say, and it's just like, I don't know, shouldn't you pay your workers? Yeah. Don't you remember that? Yes.
All right, that's all we have on the list for today. Which one of these had you laughing the hardest? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.